Horse racing in Australia is undoubtedly a big deal. Spring Racing Carnival is internationally renowned, and Australia stops on Melbourne Cup Day to watch one of the most majestic animals, that is horses, get over the finish line first. The industry employs thousands of people across Australia, and of course it involves thousands of horses. But when we started to do the numbers on the horses that are bred for the racing industry and the horses who are currently racing, there was something that didn't add up. One of the backbones of the racing industry is the breeding industry, which breeds approximately 18,000 horses each year. The problem associated with such a high level of breeding is that not all racehorses will ever reach a racetrack. In fact, as many as 2/3 of horses that are bred for the racing industry will never even race. With so many thousands of horses being bred every single year, we ask, where do they all go? Over the course of a couple of years, the Coalition for the Protection of Racehorses conducted an investigation into where racehorses go. The sale yard is just like any other livestock market, where animals are bought and sold. However, most of the horses who appear in sale yards come directly from the racing industry, and a lot of them are bought by the slaughter industry. At some we've found yearlings, which are simply young horses who have come from the breeding section, and of course we've found older horses or injured horses who have had their racing day and simply haven't made the cut and have been discarded. When a meat buyer buys a horse from a sale yard, it will go to either one of two places. It will go to a knackery, where the horse will be killed for dog meat, or it will go to one of two abattoirs in Australia, where they are killed for human consumption and exported to countries like Belgium or France. We knew that we had to visit these knackeries to see what actually happens to them at the end of the line. At the knackery, looking at the conditions of the horses that were there, it was clear that the aspirations of the racing industry for these horses, of fame and glory and to become the next big winner, were clearly no longer a priority. These horses were undernourished, not cared for anymore, obviously underfed, standing in their own manure in these derelict paddocks, simply just waiting for the bullet in the head. At the knackery, the horses are rounded up into a small pen, and then one by one they're taken into the killing box, where they'll have a rifle put up against their head and they'll be shot. One of the most shocking things about this process was seeing the horses being killed in front of each other. Their fear was obvious. We asked ourselves a question early on: where do these thousands of racehorses who are bred for the racing industry go? And we found the answer: the knackery. This isn't a one-off. This isn't an exception to the rule. This is a system. This is the racing industry's retirement plan for horses. These aren't your Maccabi Divas. These aren't your black caviars. These are the horses who are slow, injured, or didn't make the cut. This is the racing industry's biggest, darkest secret. There seems to be a massive contradiction between the way the racing industry says they love their horses and how the horses are actually treated. It's clear that they are simply an investment, and when they can no longer return a profit, they are discarded. They become wastage. It is ultimately this throwaway culture within the racing industry that promotes this problem. While thousands of racehorses are continually bred, thousands of racehorses are going to continually be killed every single year. The key to stopping this slaughter is to raise awareness so that the racing industry is held to account for the welfare of all horses, not just the horses who win the most. Most people would be appalled to know that this is going on right under their noses and that their money is being used to support this cruel and vicious cycle. The punters, the racegoers and the general public are all being taken for a ride. But the reality is there is something you can do about this. Let the racing industry know that you won't support them financially while this slaughter continues.